Alright, this is video 5 in module 2. We've done all of this stuff, so now what I'm going to do is kind of eyeball and scale a plane here to add the material for the elevation drawing. So I press T to go into a top view here, and I'm going to drag a plane that's about this size. Just kind of eyeball it, make sure it is about the same width as this shape here, although mine isn't, but I'm going to convert this into an editable poly. And I'm going to go into edge mode, and I'm going to select this edge and move it so it's a little closer here. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is press M for the material, and on Moodle is the material that you need here. I'm going to set up another standard, so right-clicking until I get to here. Go to the diffuse button, hit the bitmap lookup, and I'm going to add the elevation drawing. So like I said, I'm going to be doing a little bit of adjusting in terms of eyeballing this. In the future, when we have floor plans and elevation drawings, they will all be to scale and they'll be easy to line up. But on this one, we're going to eyeball it a little bit. So I'm going to take this standard material right here and I'm going to drag it on to this material. And now what I'm going to do, it looks like I just need to drag this out to the side. So I want this elevation, the front elevation, to be as wide as these drawings here. Okay, so I'm going to press R. I need to get out of edge mode. I'm going to press R, and I'm going to drag this to the right and press W and move it. And I need to line this up so that these walls here, W, I'm almost there, are as wide as the ones in the picture. So that right there is pretty close. I'm going to press R again, and I'm going to drag it up on the Y axis. Here we go. Okay. That is pretty good for what we're going to do. Again, when we do this in the future, we will have everything lined up from the get-go, and when we use materials, we're going to use a material with everything on it all at once, like this one has here. So I've got the side, the front, and the floor plan. When we started out, it was just the floor plan, but that's fine. We could have done that on this, but I wanted to keep it simple. So what I'm going to do now is press F, and I'm going to press E for rotate, and I'm going to make sure my angle snap is on. So that's A. Make sure this is highlighted blue, and I'm going to rotate on this axis here 90 degrees. And I'm going to, if your picture's not showing up right here, all you have to do is press F3 and then F4, and now I'm going to press, once you get this to show up, press P. Okay, and now I'm going to drag this up. So I'm trying to meet this grid with the bottom of the picture here. So now I'm going to press F again. And here, right here, is my plane that we've extruded, or that we've shift dragged, I'm sorry. And I want to line up this house so the floor is right on that. So right there is what I'm looking for. Okay. So the reason I did that is I'm going to press Alt-W, and I'm going to line everything up again. So this view right here, I'm going to hit with my mouse wheel and click and drag. I'm going to press F. I want this to be F. These grid lines are in my way, so I'm going to press G to get rid of those. And this right here, I'm going to press, I don't know, T. Let's do T here, I guess. And this one right here can be L for left. This one isn't very necessary. Mainly, I'm concerned with this and this. I only need the two windows, but what I'm going to do next is select all of these walls. So I can do that by going into polygon mode and pressing Control A. Whoops, I'm in the wrong object. Make sure that you have the floor selected. So I'm going to press Control A after I go into polygon mode. Press Control A to select all these at the same time. And I'm going to extrude this section to right here, the bottom of the windows. Okay, so I'm going to hit the extrude settings box, and up here I can see what I'm doing now, and I'm just going to drag this, whatever the number is, it's what yours is, might be different than mine, and I'm going to drag it to here, and I'm going to hit the plus sign, and I'm going to drag this number down to the top of the window, and then I'm going to hit the plus sign, and I'm going to go to the top of the roof here. Hit the check mark. Okay. And let's see. Now we have to do a little bit of finagling, because now we're going to have to cut in some sections to line up with this. So up here in the left view, if you don't have a left view, press L for left, and I'm going to press F3 to toggle on the colored faces and F4 to turn on edged faces, and I'm going to select this right here, and I'm going to rotate it around and line up this view with this view of the house so I can cut in those two angles. But first, I need to get out of polygon mode of this house, so I'm going to press 4 or click that button there. Now I'm going to click and select this image, and I'm going to press E for rotate, and I'm going to drag negative 90 degrees, rotate negative 90 degrees. And up in this window, I'm going to press G to get rid of the grid. I'm going to press W to activate the move tool. I'm going to click my house, my old house. I'm going to press Alt X so I can see through it. And I'm going to click back on the image. And I'm going to move this to the right and line it up. And it looks like this is a little bit off in terms of scale and width, so I'm going to press R on this image, and I'm going to drag it to the left and squish it a little bit and try to line it up, and it looks like that did it. Okay, and I need to raise this roof a little bit higher so it meets right up here. So I'm going to click on the house. This is very similar to the last module, and I'm going to press 1 for vertice mode, and I'm going to click drag these section of vertices, and I'm going to move them up to the tip of that point. Okay, and now this is a little bit wider than the house, but that's alright. I'm going to use this as my guide point anyways. So with this house selected, I'm going to quick slice. I might have to Control Z and redo this a couple of times because this can be kind of tricky, but I'm looking for quick slice, which is right here, and I'm going to start on this line, and I'm just going to angle right up and try to mimic that angle. And it's really hard to see where the point is. So what I'm going to do is maybe drag this down a little bit so I can see the point right there. Okay, that's much easier to see. I can see I'm aiming for that little section right there. Okay, I'm going to try this again. Quick slice, clicking here and going right for that point. Okay, now I'm going to maximize this window, Alt W, because I really want to make sure that when I come through here, I'm going through and intersecting at the correct point. So I want to kind of like, anywhere through here is fine, but I want it to be as close to the center as possible. So I'm going to click on this line right here, move my mouse, and then you can zoom in with the mouse wheel and line it up the best you can, and you want to click, and then once you click and lock that in, you're still in quick slice, so you need to right click to deactivate that. And now we can zoom out, and now press 1, and I need to deselect these vertices by clicking over here in empty space. And now I'm going to click and drag my mouse and delete this section of vertices here, and do the same thing over here. And we've just created the pitch of the roof. Alt X to turn that back on. Okay, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Although, in a normal house, well, we'll get into this next module. So next video, I'm gonna stop there. That is